All right, guys, welcome to the latest episode of 40 and Fit. We're taking a deep dive into the male mind on the verge of a midlife crisis. Welcome me back, guys. I haven't been here for 2 weeks.
Hey, John's back. I got to give up my driver's license because I'm not driving the bus anymore.
See?
Son of a bitch.
What happened?
I'm just changing something for me.
Oh, for you.
Yeah, no, it's good.
So apparently Dave likes that other mic because he sounds better on it. I didn't realize that. So it's all about Dave right now.
It is.
Cocky.
It's fine.
But I mean, you know, he can back it up.
Right. Apparently something about a sword the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I heard about that joke.
Oh, who told you?
Was it you?
I don't know.
Oh, it was Phil.
He's like, you're really holding the sword over there. And I put my hands on the table. I said, not anymore.
I was like, I missed that one. I was like, damn. But that's what we do. All right, guys. So, today we have a special thing. Well, wait, let's do some intros as usual. To my right, we have the one and only legendary
David Clary.
I was going to say that. I didn't know if we were going to go with something else at this point.
I couldn't tell also when you're like to my right.
I know.
I already
had to actually look in and I had to picture my fingers in the air, to be honest with you.
Well, it was funny because he said to my right and he was looking at me.
Exactly. Threw me off.
So I was like, wait, is he okay?
All right. And then to my far left, we have the other legend,
Mike Hoban.
Mike Hoban. That's cool.
Yes.
And behind the scenes, we also have our legendary young buck, Phil. Say hi, Phil. Cliff has been kicked off. It's fine. Listen, doesn't matter. Our special guest today is, please
introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself.
Allie Reap.
How does she sound?
She sounds amazing.
All right. I just want to make sure we have the
much prettier than the rest of us.
As long as she sounds
in fairness, we're not a hard group to beat.
No, not at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, we're on video and
She's gonna fit right in real quick.
All right, here we go. That's cool. All right, so today is the day. Again, you know, Allie, what we usually do, when I'm on, I mean, again, I didn't listen to these guys the last couple of times. The reason why, I don't know if they explained to you or Dave explained to you why we decided to start this podcast.
No,
Yes?
he did not.
So the reason is all of us are in our 40s at this point, right? And something about in the last couple of years, for me specifically, I've been going through weird personal stuff in my own mind, mental, emotional, and health-wise, right? And in my 40s, right? And I firmly believe it's a midlife crisis. Firmly believe I'm still going through it, right? Firmly believe it started when I was 37, because that's when I started asking weird questions, nostalgic questions, regret, weird things that are going through my head. And I was kind of scared to ask those questions out loud, right? And I kept thinking about it, and then finally, about a year ago, I literally just said it out loud to my friends. And Dave and I go back over 20 years now.
Yep.
Dave and I know each other that long, so wow. I was like, I know we're the same exact age, we've grown same exact circles. And Mike just happened to be in the same circles back then, we just didn't know him.
Yeah, we go back about 20 days.
Yeah.
All right.
So then, but we're all the same age, right? So then I just decided to ask the question, you know, about, do you guys ever feel this way? And it's weird because some people say they have gone through these things and some people haven't, right? And I'm just curious as to why other people have not. And then finally, I always wondered, do females go through these things, right? At what point do you feel like, you know, you regret certain things in the past? Is it considered a midlife crisis? And we've had other females on, like Shirley Barbosa, Lauren, and I didn't get to hear that one, but I just know that there's obviously another point of view out there that we'd like to bring on, right? Cool. So that's essentially why it was made, right? And we realized that there's a larger audience, very specific niche audience that want to talk about this, but are too scared to talk about it. Yeah. So I was like, screw it. Let's just throw it out there. Let's be vulnerable, right? Who cares? What's going to happen? No one's going to come attack me, right? So it's just one of those things that I want to always just put out there. It's just straightforward, right? I do keep my family out of it. I try to keep a lot of personal things out of it. Like we use the word redacted instead of my kids' names. Just because, you know, personal things that they go through, right? So there's no rules to this.
Okay.
That's why it's just a talk, right?
Cool. Yeah.
And so obviously we're all in the fitness industry. We've all been doing this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 30.
See? So, but you're
I'll
at
be
that
31
point.
in August.
But you're still at that point because I firmly believe after 27, things change.
It does.
And then after 34, things change. And then after 37, things change. Like, I've realized...
You are a savage bringing up just these odd numbers.
No, these are very specific to my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, it's true. And
For me, 'cause I remember
reason.
them.
I mean, 27 is when apparently... I don't know if it's the same for males, but apparently when a female's brain fully develops.
Really?
Like
I felt
fully,
like my brain
matures.
got mushed up even more. Because I had my first kid.
Okay.
When I
yeah,
was
that's-
27.
yes.
And I was just like, what am I doing?
Yeah, so it's like a little different for everyone, I would say. But there is like that, that timeline, I think.
So you're saying in the last 3 to 4 years, you've noticed a significant difference in who you are, your things in your lifespan,
Yes.
and now you're also working with Lauren
Yes.
on certain things. So
Yes.
even broader horizons, right?
Yes,
I think
for
I do
sure.
have to talk to Lauren, apparently. We'll have to
Oh my God, you should definitely talk to Lauren.
Let's do it on air.
She
and
is
everything.
amazing.
Well, let's call her. Where's she now?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We had lunch earlier. I know she's around.
No, she's got to be somewhere. She's not doing
She's got to be close.
right? She's not doing anything.
But for sure, definitely.
So what is the major things you've noticed that has changed in the last 4 years for you then?
Wow, in the last
Emotional,
4 years.
mental, physical.
Like everything, I guess. I mean, I think I've just become a little bit more mature, which is like a cliche thing to say, but it's definitely true. I don't know, like, what has changed? My mindset has completely shifted. I think from being this younger, I guess I could say girl, because that's kind of how I felt, like just lost, and I knew I liked fitness, but like, I was working in television. I didn't want to do that. Then I worked in fitness. Now I work in fitness, I should say. But just, I guess, not caring as much. I used to care so much about like everything, what people thought, and the older you get, it's like, why? Like, the only people that I care what they think about me is like family, friends, and the closest. So I think that's probably the biggest mindset shift. And like very recently, I've been going through an even bigger mindset shift.
So what is it about? Why did you shift in the? Why fitness? Well, why is that your field that you decided to pick?
I just wanted to help people.
Specific. Oh, okay.
Like I loved fitness. I was a competitive dancer growing up, and then
like swing, ballroom.
no, like tap, ballet, jazz, and hip hop. Yeah,
Jazz hands.
Just to name a few.
just to name a few. Yeah, exactly. There were more, but those are the general. And so fitness was just, when I stopped dancing, I was like, wow, I guess I have to do something to keep myself in shape. So I joined a gym, and I just kind of like became obsessed with it a little bit.
Specifically, like classes.
Group classes
Okay, you are a
first. So I
class
started teaching
person.
group classes first, like spin, specifically boot camp.
Zumba? You're a
core.
Zumba person?
No,
What? You didn't follow
no.
that cult? You don't like
I did not.
the tennis
no.
yellow colors
Exactly.
and the black? Okay.
Sweatbands and stuff.
Cargo pants.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
cool?
the style is cool, so I'm surprised I never got into it for that reason. But no,
The overzealous cult? Nice. No? You don't do that? You don't?
I've
It's like
taken
CrossFit,
Zumba.
maybe? No.
no. I've taken Zumba classes though.
Scientology
They're
for
fun.
fitness weirdos.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, there's like, I think
They're watching. They're watching right now.
Spinning is a cult. Like I taught spin.
Oh, yeah, they're nuts, too.
For like 6 or 7 years. So all of.
Oh,
that.
wait. So let's go back to spinning. Do you believe, who does it, Soul Cycle, in using 3-pound weights while you're spinning?
No,
Nice. Good.
I hated that.
How do they use them?
and-
Just in your hands, or what do they do?
Yeah, but it never made sense to me. They're like, oh, we're burning more calories. I'm like, how are you burning more calories by using a 3-pound dumbbell?
No, it's like if you're gonna spin. If you're gonna lift.
There you
It's like,
go.
let's
Thank
not just
you.
half-ass both. You know?
Yeah.
I was like asked to teach a with weights spin class actually at the gym, and I kind of tried to fight it. I was like, can we not? People were like, but this is what we want. So it's like, all right, whatever. So they loved it.
I don't even
Everybody
think I
else
could
loved
do that. I don't think I could like cycle and do a lateral raise at the same time.
It's a lot of multitasking.
I mean, I think I'd be like on the ground.
Yeah, man. You have to have a lot of coordination.
Yeah, with probably like
There is a lot of coordination.
There is a lot of
Yeah,
coordination.
like you
Yeah,
said
it still
about
doesn't make any sense.
like you said about the flag football. I wouldn't be able to see out of my left eye. I think after that,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's only 3 pounds.
Yeah, like I would
Those
lose like
rebounds
function
start
somewhere.
to feel very heavy by the end of.
Well,
like,
you're doing 2 million reps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It
Exactly.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're gonna spin, lift separately. That's my theory on it. But I did love spin for a very long time.
Yeah, that was just a random thing I like to ask.
Plus,
people,
not
just
for anything.
because-
Most of those ladies' purses are probably 3+ pounds, so you're not really giving yourself a challenge.
Groceries, still way more. It does not make any sense to me. You cannot burn more calories while you're burning the calories that you're currently burning.
I think if
It
you
just
were to
doesn't make
just
sense.
straight up like focus more on adding resistance and your cadence, you would burn more calories.
Yeah. But that's
Actually, you would.
That
It's not
is
like
it, yeah,
I
that's-
think. It's a definite. Like,
yeah, that's actual science.
Yeah.
That really works that way.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what-
still trying to get my
What
head
about
around the
now?
whole thing. No.
Well,
they do
it's
like push-ups
yeah.
on the bike. They're like a routine.
Right. It's just like doing like 300 repetitions is like now cardio. Like that's
That
not
was
how it
never
works.
Really my-
Yeah, no,
I like
that's-
to
yeah.
just spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was just a random side conversation.
No,
Yeah.
I like that you asked that because no, the answer is no.
So you're currently teaching spin now, other classes? What are we doing?
I'm not. So I am teaching other classes. I'm teaching strength classes 3 days a
Cool.
week now. So I like that a lot. So
Muscles
that's the
are
only
cool.
thing. What'd you say?
Muscles are cool.
Muscles are cool.
Muscles make
Yes.
sense.
Muscles make sense.
So
Muscles are cool.
we're doing like CrossFit now. I'm just throwing it out there. No,
It's not CrossFit.
no.
No.
Do you believe in CrossFit?
I think.
Well, it
I think-
exists. I think
Yeah.
everyone, it exists. We all believe in it.
I mean, I think that CrossFit can be really awesome if it's coached right and taught right. I just think
7-minute burpees. That was one of the competitions.
Oh.
7 minutes of burpees. Well, how many you can
See,
do?
I
7
don't know,
minutes of
like
burpees.
if that's necessarily like the
What's the
best
purpose,
for
right?
you.
I always
One
ask the
thing I will
question.
say about CrossFit, they have some great clothing. I saw a shirt that they have that says "Burpees hate you too."
Ooh, I like that one.
Right?
They got nice shoes. I like the Noble
Yeah.
brand. They
Yeah.
got some good stuff.
Do you like CrossFit?
You know what's funny?
turning the tables.
I do. I actually do like
Yeah.
CrossFit. I like the competition behind it.
Okay,
I
yeah.
like the competitive
I can
part.
see it, yeah.
I could watch it. Like I'm like, yo, that was cool.
I like to watch it too.
But if you
I just
really,
don't
if I break it down, I'm like, there's no purpose behind it.
Right.
Again, you're being the best exerciser, right?
Yeah.
Technically, that's all that it is. But I'm like, I'm not big on Olympic lifts for time.
Exactly.
That's the part I don't really
It
care
can get
for.
definitely dangerous.
You know, but I do like the competition behind it.
Yeah.
But I like competition,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like,
behind it.
yeah, I don't like team competition. I hate
Okay.
relying on other people
Yes.
to win for me. Like I'll bet on myself.
I like competition for myself too. I've
Yeah,
never
I
really
can't-
liked.
I can't do team sports.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I'm not a big person like that. That's just the way I am. That's why I like poker.
There you go.
I'm a
I've
mind
never
person
gone
like
to
that.
poker, but
And is poker actually a sport?
I mean, it's on ESPN.
So is golf, and that's not a sport. Wait, did I say that out loud?
We were just
We
talking
just lost
about-
our 50 and over demographic.
I know.
Sporty and
Dancing
fit.
sport?
I think dancing is a sport. It's hard as hell. Coordination.
Yeah,
it's
I
like
mean-
spinning and doing weights.
Well, I would say it's like gymnastics. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, that's cool. I had
Yeah.
to think about what you were saying there. All right, cool. So you are teaching classes currently
Yes.
at the gym still?
No. So everything
no
that
plug.
I'm doing
All
right now
screw it.
is like private.
Oh, you're
So
one of those.
I'm one of those.
Cool.
Not only as of COVID, because the gym closed. I was actually teaching for the gym's online premier access for a bit.
That's what I said.
You got the answer.
I've
Got
stepped
it.
away from that. Yeah, I was doing that, and I might go back. But I've taken a little hiatus from doing that, and now I'm just doing my own stuff. I do my own Zoom classes 3 days a week. I do some small groups and a lot of private, and I just recently started training some kids, so that's
Nice.
kind of fun.
Good for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want a
Good for you.
job?
Yeah,
Because
We'll
we
chat
have
after.
2 gyms that could use your help. Though, let's put it that way. You teach aqua size?
No, but
You
you're
can-
the second person to ask me that recently. Like,
my
Looking
God.
around, we're looking for aqua.
like
instructors.
somebody asked me if I did, and I was like, yeah, but I don't. But I was like, I could figure it out. I mean, how hard could it be?
That's what I said. I go, you're doing the same movements just in water.
Yeah, I'm sure I could.
Okay,
I've
everyone,
taken
let's
before.
swim.
No, that's not
I
how
know,
you do
I
it,
know,
actually.
I know.
Like you literally, when you're teaching the class, you're out of the water.
You are.
Like you can't
I
teach
took
in
one
the
once,
water. You
yeah.
can't teach in the water. It doesn't make
Oh,
sense.
that's no fun.
Well, how do you see what they're doing if they're in the
No,
water?
yeah, you're out of the water, they're in the water.
Yeah.
I took one once where my parents live in Florida, and it was I was like the youngest one by like 50 years, and I got my ass kind of kicked like in it.
Yeah,
I almost left because I like looked around. I was like, oh.
I mean, they call it what? Positive resistance because there's no recoil on the whole thing, and you're just
Yeah, there's
constantly pushing and pulling.
There's no
Right.
eccentric.
Right,
Yeah,
that's all.
They
it
had
is.
like weights for like under the
Yeah,
water and
foam.
stuff.
I've used those.
Yeah, they were foam. They were like huge.
That's all it is. So,
I have the what are they? The aqua bells or something like that. I used those for a while.
Oh, the aqua
Yeah.
bells, yeah.
There you
I
go.
have no
Yeah.
idea.
You should have just kept going with it.
I mean, you should have. I was
Yeah,
believing
because I
it.
totally would have believed it too. I was like,
The
oh,
aqua
shit.
bell. Yeah, hey, look at this.
We're about to plug this one. But anyways, so let's go back to the original thing about the change that you felt and stuff like that within
Right.
yourself. Like, what happened? Is there anything like all of a sudden one day something just triggered? Because it was weird with me. One day I heard a song. I say this all the time. Specific song that happened 1998. Song just came up. I was like, wow, that made me feel weird. that made me not regretful, but I was like, it just made me start thinking about things in life. Like the last 25 years of my life, what happened? What happened in 25 years of my life? I can't remember. Obviously, I had kids, so those are like some big moments, right? But other than that, it's like, is this where I want to be right now, where I am, right? And it's weird because you're 30, and back then I was like, yo, 30's old. Right? When I was 25, I was like, I want to be a millionaire by the time I'm 27. Yep, not even close right now. So, again, I don't want to say it's regretful stuff, but it's like, wow, what did I do wrong? And yeah, like I said, I feel like it's still like a midlife crisis thing. But this has been helpful in being just saying it out loud. Right? So it's just one of those things where I'm constantly asking the question, what have you gone through?
Well, very recently so my mindset shift around, because a lot of my life was revolved around like fitness and health and eating good and working out a lot. And I actually, like, earlier this year went through this like crazy bout of like fatigue, and I noticed that my body actually started kind of like giving out on me, if you will. And I knew that I had to make certain lifestyle changes in order to like become healthier. So that actually meant like eating differently and working out differently. So like I'm in that mindset now, and with just like making those small changes that I thought I was like gonna really freak out about having to do has actually like completely transformed my mind, which is crazy, to like thinking differently about nutrition and fitness and my body and other people's bodies and like literally everything.
What type of help were you getting to make these changes?
Well, Lauren helped me, and also
how did you find her? Also, like, how did you know to go to Lauren? Let me ask you that.
I went to Lauren years ago when I was in a place in my life where I was very confused. I was in a relationship, and I thought I wasn't so happy in it, and I was like, didn't really know. I was like a lost soul, and me and Lauren were just sitting at the juice bar at the gym, just shooting the shit, talking about whatever. And she mentioned that she was like just becoming a life coach, and I'm like, wow, like I need one of you in my life. Like I've done therapy, but I feel like that's not really what I need. I feel like I need somebody who's going to help me like figure my life out. So we started doing sessions, and I kind of like got my life on track. I got out of a relationship I was in. I like got my own place, and I just like felt like I was thriving. I was like, wow, like now I'm an adult. Like I felt like I was an adult. I had like been living with I was out of my house, and I was back in my house, and that's kind of when I met with Lauren. I was feeling really down. Like I was like, oh my God, living at home and almost 30, and like this kind of sucks. And so yeah, I like felt like I like blossomed, and then I did like another bout of work with Lauren, which I think helped me get to where I am like right now.
Okay,
for sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, so Lauren, but that was all a lot of emotional and mental health.
Yes.
Or was it eating too? Did she help
Lauren basically helped me figure out like my
what was wrong?
Human design, like what actually like my sole purpose here, and that could be a whole nother thing when she's here to go over it. But yeah, like who I actually am, like from birth, and like what I'm meant to be here. And so I did a ton of like self-reflection and faced things.
So there's all the stuff you've been going through too, right?
Have you been doing that
too? Stuff you've been going through, like the self-reflection.
It's just stuff that I've been doing for years, and that's why Laura and I just get along so well, because we'll have these conversations about, even just the other day, she was the first one I called after I had spoken to my client about what we're working on.
Oh, okay.
And when she told me everything else about Juan, and I was like, well, that makes a fuck ton of sense, right? Like everything was kind of falling into place,
right?
Where all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, I may want to do that. Like I said to you, thinking never in a million years that was where it would go. And I was kind of thinking about it today. I wanted to send a very nice text in the group chat about everyone I hope is paying attention to like what's happening and talking about what has not been happening for years, because I'm very, very excited about everything that we're currently working on. This being one of them. But I feel like everything's aligning very nicely. But we still have to put in the effort.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But
absolutely.
But
wait, you mean it's not just going to happen?
I mean, it could.
I mean, it's stuff like for you, possibly. Things happen from like Hobart all the time.
yeah.
You were still busy over COVID. I wasn't.
Yeah. Sure.
See, that's good.
But even to her point, it's like I was thinking about it. Who was I talking to? One of my other clients about like. She was talking to me about her relationship with her husband, and I said something about a previous relationship, and it's like when I got out of it, it was, I actually made the point to like go and apologize for something years later because I didn't understand why was acting the way she was acting at the time when we were on the way out, on the exit interview, so to speak. And after something similar happened to me, I made it a point to go back and say to her, I was like, listen, I'm sorry that I didn't do a better job of listening to you and hearing your side. I just got mad that you felt that way. And I didn't ask what I could have done better. I just got mad. So I'm sorry that I didn't hear you. And that's just the stuff that you, in any situation, when you get out of something or you move on to the next job or next project or whatever, it's like, what did I learn from that? What did I love about that? What did I not love about that? What really rings true for me and whatever my core values are and what makes me me, and then just try to stick to that more for the next time.
Yeah, no, that's weird because that's literally what's happened in the last 5-6 years is where I'm literally, like I said, I told you the other day, it takes me 30 minutes. It used to take me a long time to get over things, and I would just be quiet about it, right? Now it's like 30 minutes. That's all I'm taking. 30 minutes, and this is how much effort I'm giving this, and then all of a sudden, I'm either right or I'm wrong.
Right.
So if I'm right, yep, you're never going to hear about me, and I'm right. I'm right. If I'm wrong, I will apologize, and I will find every other possible way to make this right. And that's just the way I am lately. And I'm constantly trying to do that just so I don't get hung up on things. I realized I was hung up on a lot of things in the past that I just couldn't get out of my head. It's still in my head. There's things I still regret that I wish I could say back to other people. Things that were said to me. I was like, man, I would love to see this person again, from back in the day. You know, it's just, again, I think that's also one of those things that bothers me still, that I'm not able to close those. And it's weird for me. I seek things out. I'm like, I wonder where this person is, right? Can I reach out still? Do I want to open up this?
Well, even recognizing that that's something that you needed work on and go, like Dave said that he, went back and kind of admitted that he was wrong. Like, that's like a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem, it's like, oh yeah, like admitting you're wrong, but that's something that comes with age. You can't, like, a lot of us when we're younger, we don't do that.
No, we definitely don't. And that's another thing, again, we said from the beginning, men, we've grown up in that time where men aren't supposed to do that. Right? And I'm just like, why not?
Toxic
Who the hell cares?
Do you dare say the word?
Yeah.
Because it's true.
I tell people all the time.
Men should be like, I don't understand it. Like, to me, I find it very attractive when a guy is vulnerable and like emotional, not like overly emotional.
Yeah,
maybe
not like a big pansy.
Anybody, yeah. But like,
no crying at the end of the Notebook. Sorry.
Well, no, like I think that would be
Why
like,
not?
I cried at the end of the Notebook. I'd be like, okay, like you're a human. Like,
at least I could sit through the whole movie in the Notebook.
You got me there. That's checkmate.
It was a good movie. Come on.
I'm sure it was. I just don't watch movies that often.
But yeah, no, being able, I think that's a huge thing.
I almost find it to be more masculine.
Because I think that because we know that we're holding it in. And I realize, I'm like, that's stupid.
Right.
Why are you holding it in? You're just going to take it out on somebody else.
Right.
That's just the dumb, like,
it turns into anger. And it just is only hurting yourself.
Right.
Holding on to that toxicity is only hurting you.
Right.
You know?
And in the long term, again, you start thinking about it years later.
Right.
That's where I'm just like, all right, how do I figure out this whole thing?
Just move on and you just don't do that again going forward, you know?
To the next person. But it's weird because, again, like I said, at this point, it's just like, I still feel like that's messed. I should have fixed that somehow. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's something that I still have to be able to fix. And that's what those little things bother me. And I don't know why. I don't know how to let go of it.
Right.
Or does it just go away? Like I don't think it does.
You have to like really face it head on. That's work I've done with Lauren, where it's like, instead of like pushing things to the side, like, oh, but it's okay, but things in life are great too. Like, and always like replacing negative with positive, like address the negative, like feel it, cry, like
you have to.
Wall.
Yeah, she's right. There's somebody I know who overly positive because I feel they think if they show that the negative gets to them, that they're weak, they're vulnerable.
Right.
And it drives me to a fucking wall.
I could like be that way too, though, like overly positive.
It's like, no, like bad shit can happen.
Right.
It kind of lets you figure out how to deal with it, how to see the positive. If you just pretend like good vibes only, not get the fuck out of here, because it's not always going to be like that.
No.
You can address the negative.
It's not real.
No,
It's
you
just
can
not
address
real.
the negative, and you can allow yourself to feel those feelings and be like, I'm sad, I'm confused. Okay, but what's going to unconfuse you? Where do we want to take this?
Communication, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
God forbid.
Right. God forbid.
God forbid. Yeah.
Another thing that has come with maturity is just that communication. Like keeping it real.
Again, so you've learned how to communicate better with everyone around you, or
Yes.
did you have problems speaking it out to people, or just showing that part?
I think that, I mean, I've always been just very, like, bluntly open.
Me too. I've always been
like,
a blunt person.
Always.
Yeah.
Like, since I was a kid, but I don't think that was always reciprocated, and I always was really confused by that.
Oh, yeah.
So I almost think that, not necessarily me, but even the people around me are starting to, I think maybe they're starting to come to that point. You know what I mean?
With you, though? Or is it just in
with
general?
me and
so
in
they're
general.
learning how to communicate with you.
Yeah.
See, that's what I realized, is that you have to teach other people how to communicate with you as well. I try to teach my kids all the time because they know I'm a manager. I was like, you have to know how to manage your own managers also. Like, I really believe you have to learn how to communicate with your boss in order for it to work the right way. Because they can dictate, but if you're going to let them hammer you down, you're just going to be miserable.
Right.
And you have to learn how to speak and then teach them how to speak to you as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that most people, they just don't allow. They'll take things. I'm like, stop taking it.
Right.
Right? I'm like,
yeah, you gotta speak up for yourself.
if you're upset, say you're upset.
Right.
Like, you don't have to curse at the back. You don't have to blurb out profanities. But you have to at least voice it, man. So at least they know, hey, you kind of messing with my head, and I'm about to screw this up, even though I'm under you. Right? Like, you kind of have to tell these people that, because it's just, and we have this problem just running these two gyms.
Right.
Like, our owners are not the brightest people in the world. I've said this on camera. I say it all the time. I don't even care.
Okay.
And they're not going to fire me.
Well, if you're not listening to your own podcast, chances are
they're definitely they're like 80 years old at this point. But it's just one of those things where we have to learn how to communicate, because it doesn't matter. Like, if you keep it in, it's going to get worse. And
you don't want to for it to be like a guessing game. It's like, well, you should have known I was upset.
Right.
Or, well, you should have. It's like, well, no, just tell me.
Rather than trying to guess.
Yeah, like, we don't have time.
We just
to
wait.
sit around
Exactly.
for
Wasted
games.
so much time trying to play this game.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at it. Like, I really suck at this game.
If you're a blunt person, like I am, like I just assume other people are. So if somebody's like, oh, well, I mean, I was really upset. It's like, oh, well, you didn't say that. It's like, well, you should have known. It's like, well, tell me.
Sorry, my alarms didn't go off to appease you.
That's because
exactly.
So you got to teach people their alarms now. Hey, what are the signs? That's all it is. But Cliff, how do you feel back there? I'm just watching him from over here. I'm like waiting for his reactions. I'm like, he's just taking it in, or he's bored out of his mind.
Good.
Got 2 thumbs up over there. How do you feel about that, Phil?
Phil's just thinking about when he can eat his food, and we're not going to hear it on camera.
How do you feel about the communication part? Great. That was awesome.
That's why he's the best color man in the business,
what
folks.
we're waiting for.
Your communication needs a little work.
Full honesty, I kind of spaced out a little bit there.
So,
wow.
But that's good communication, because he didn't hide it at all.
Right, he
Honest,
did.
yes.
But I think that's because he's learning how to communicate with us.
Right.
Because he knows if he tries to hide it,
We're
we're just going to destroy it.
It's not even worth it.
It's just not, there's just no
Not
point
worth it.
behind it. Okay, cool. At least we know that he wasn't listening. That's great. And he's live here. So that's there. It's, I just lost my train of thought.
Communication.
Bigger than a bread box. Sorry.
See,
Communication can be bigger than a bread box.
I could.
I know that. Well, I will say though, is like I've known you for 5 or 6 years now.
5 or 6 years, yeah.
And I
Has he changed in 5 or 6 years? Let me ask you that. We're going to get really deep.
Well, So I don't work with Dave anymore, unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks.
So I don't know. But me and Dave have had some like pretty deep conversations.
Oh, I thought you butted heads.
No, we never butted heads.
I always liked Allie.
I was hoping some sort of drama.
No, we always got along, and we've had some like deep conversations in the break room at the gym, eating our breakfast at like 5 a.m., like chatting about life. Yeah, we've had some good conversations.
He has a life lot. He talks about life a lot.
He does.
I can't tell you specifically what's different about Allie, but she's not the same Allie that I met. Oh. But it's like I can see the progression. Like she's the same Allie, but she's not.
Yeah.
Like everything about her, whether she knew it or not then, whatever made her is still there.
Right.
But like there's definitely more of a confidence and like a self-awareness about what she's about and what's important to her.
Has that translated in your training with your clients and everything else?
100%. I'm the best trainer I've been right now.
Oh, you said you're the best trainer in the world.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'm definitely.
Why not?
Well, because Dave's in the room. Come on.
If Dave was in this room, I would say.
In the last 5 years, he's become the best trainer.
No, I'm the best trainer that I've ever been now, for sure.
Wait, you're the best trainer you've ever been now?
I'm the best trainer that I've ever been right now.
Got it.
She's at peak Allie Reap skill set right now.
At the very moment you're at peak. Are you just getting better?
I'm just going to get better.
Okay, cool.
I read a lot, and I like try to like.
You read a lot?
Cheating.
Only as of COVID, I started like.
Come on, there's movies for everything.
YouTube. You don't have to read YouTube.
Right. You just listen to this stuff. There's a bunch of podcasts out there.
I do listen to a lot of podcasts.
Even like comic books, you can listen to it now. Like I do that in the car now.
I'll take your advice and stop reading then.
Yeah. See, it messes with your eyes.
Girl, put that book down.
No. Well, you're killing trees. Come on.
True. I do like a paperback as
Everything is digital.
I'm not like a Kindle type of girl.
Kindle. Wow, we have phones now. Just
Jesus. Yeah, because these aren't bad for your eyes at all.
Yeah, I like to not.
You have to wear the glasses now.
Yeah,
I do wear blue light glasses. Yes.
Do you?
At night, I do. Yeah.
I gotta get.
So my circadian rhythm.
You gotta get glasses.
No, I've got regular glasses.
Right?
Yeah, but not the blue blocker joints.
Blue blocker joints. Those are old sunglasses. Blue blockers are old sunglasses.
That's what 92.
Was it even that?
Probably.
The problem was further back.
Yeah.
Wow, but you don't have blue lens with your.
No.
So your eyes are getting jacked up.
Maybe. I don't know. Looking at this goddamn thing all day.
Get a little closer to it, Dave.
I can't. Gamma radiation is pushing me away.
He's going to turn into the red.
For those of you not watching, Dave is basically making out with his computer. If you got any closer, they'd be very intimate.
I did get consent.
I'm like, Dave, what are you watching? It's like, what are you looking at, Dave? No one can see what else you're watching, right? But so obviously you have evolved. But again, my question is, have you seen Dave evolve?
He wants you to answer this.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm not letting go of this one.
No.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't really see Dave as much, but I know that I've always looked up to him in a way that he's had really loyal clients always.
Oh yeah.
Like people follow
him.
Like he could like move to Arizona and his clients would like move to Arizona, I feel like.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the reasons that she probably can't answer it is because she's one of the few people that, for whatever reason, I trusted her when I first met her. So when the fact that I've been able to have those conversations with her, I trust her as a person, and that she's emotionally intelligent enough to have a conversation that I'm going to put stock in. Like, I want to have the conversation, ask her questions, whatever. So that part of me has kind of always been there. So I may be the same kind of person to her now as I was when she met me.
yeah.
So you haven't evolved.
No, I have.
So the answer is David's evolved 0.
I was going to say, I was like, wait.
No, he has.
No,
he has.
I know that I know that I have, and I know in the ways that I have, but I've always.
But not in her eyes.
No, he has.
I've always
I'm
been.
just trying to figure out literally what he's saying.
I've always been able to have. I've always been able. Not always, but.
So, okay.
I've always been able to have.
When you met her, you were on this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were speaking to her on this level, and you say that she was able to follow you on that level.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to
maybe
understand.
the level that you opened up to me about, now you're opening up to more people.
Yeah, probably. Like, I needed to feel secure in the person I was talking to, that they would be able to process what I'm saying.
I have that effect on people.
And not everybody can accept what you're
totally,
saying.
I get that part.
Like some it make people feel uncomfortable, question their own things. I don't even give a shit anymore. Like if I'm going to say something, I'm going to say it the way I need to say it, the way I think it needs to be heard, and the way I want to communicate it.
Right. If they need clarification,
if you can get with that, awesome. And if you can't, I'm not going to say I don't care. I'll take the time and explain it to you.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
But like, I needed to feel a sense of security in the person I was talking to in that way, and I don't feel that anymore. I just like, this is me. This is what you're going to get. So
you used to pick and choose.
Yeah, I would have the people that I could talk to the way I wanted to talk to them, and then there was more surface folks.
Right.
But now it's like I talk to everybody the same, and I will accept everybody the same. Like I can take the surface people and try to coax things out of them if I think they're going through something or they're struggling. And then there's people like you, like the conversation we had yesterday. Yeah. I think about that all the time because when you weren't here, I said, I thought the idea for the podcast was just because it was a good idea. There's an audience, but then very, very quickly, even though you and I have had those conversations previously, very quickly I was like, this is therapy for John, being able to talk about what he's going through and then get feedback from other people. Mm-hmm. So, but I feel like you and I always had that.
Oh yeah, no, definitely believe that. Honestly, I feel the same way about Mike. Like not being like weird or mushy about it, but I definitely felt like there was a stronger connection between me and you than a lot of other trainers, a lot of other people I've met. And being trainers, we've met how many people in our lives, right? I mean, I've had how many clients that I've even chosen not to work with anymore just because I've chosen to be picky about like, yeah, you're not worth my time. Even though you could afford me, I don't want to waste my time with you. That's just it.
Well, let's talk about that. What makes people want, like, open up to people more than others? Like Dave said that he felt that way with me. I felt that way with him. You said you felt that way with him. Like, what do you think are the qualities that? Because there are, like, sometimes you meet someone like at the grocery store, and before you know it, you're talking to them about like, I think your deepest, darkest moments.
So with Mike, the one thing is, if you could get my garbage humor from the beginning, like you could follow it or throw it right back at me. Wow, it's all right. Boom, you're in.
Yeah,
you're in. Right? Like I met Cliff years ago, and because we hired Cliff as New York Sports Club, he actually interviewed me first, but then he went and worked for Rachel in Ridgewood. So I was one of the first people that met him in this industry, and I was like, he's gonna be good, but he's too quiet. And that's why Rachel took him on.
Why? You know, back talk?
There wasn't a big response back, which we keep talking about, why we keep picking on him to open up more.
Yeah, God damn it.
But there's things but we obviously know there's a lot more behind Cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Than what he shows right now.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we bring him on. We want him to open up.
He's the human Swiss Army knife.
He's multitasking.
Anything you need to get done, Cliff will find a way to get it done.
Yeah.
Except for turn the music down for that one member.
Now he figured out how to do it.
But we're still not going to do it anyway.
Just didn't want to do it. Yeah. See, now we got to pick and choose our battles.
Of course.
What were you saying?
When he's a Swiss Army knife. It's like, yeah, we want him to come at us with like the knife, not the spoon.
Right.
Yeah, well, the spoon's useful.
I'm not saying it isn't.
Bro, what if you got Ben and Jerry's? You can eat that with a knife? Cut your tongue.
You could. Very carefully.
Yeah, see? Allie's on my side here.
I mean, ice cream.
It's because she likes ice cream. That was unfair.
Okay, if you don't like ice cream, Dave, you can leave now. Thank you.
No,
it's 40 and fit, not 40 and fucking nuts. I'm sorry.
Wow. What is that? He's like such offense to that.
Yeah.
My apologies, everyone. My apologies.
He took offense to that.
It's true, though. It's like if you don't like ice cream.
I mean, yeah.
Serial killer or something.
I love ice cream.
It's pro-lactose over here.
You gotta take the dairy pills. You gotta take the dairy pills.
I am so glad I didn't have a mouthful of water when you said that. This microphone wouldn't be useful anymore.
Oh, just waste money. That's cool. But going back to that whole thing and what made it for
all
me,
flavors matter.
Except for rum raisin, that's shit.
Oh yeah!
Wow, that's like a Jamaican thing.
What, rum raisin?
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, it sounds really. It's like black licorice. It's terrible.
Yeah, come on. We can all agree on that.
Taste.
If you like black licorice, like no.
Listen, you've never even tasted Filipino ice cream. There's like corn and cheese.
Yeah, but dude, they serve that on a bun.
What?
What?
Filipino ice cream. You never saw that?
On a bun?
They serve it on a bun in the
They
Philippines.
could. Hey,
They legit put on a hamburger bun.
yeah, hey.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's different.
Carbs and lac.
Carbs and carbs. I get it. Wheat and milk. I gotcha.
Yeah, but you don't like rum raisin, but no one will bat an eye at corn and
Captain
cheese.
Jack Sparrow over here?
Yeah, I mean, come on. But why is the rum gone?
On a defense. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, going back to everything as to why there was a connection and how such
Totally
tangents.
straight.
That's just what happens. We go off left 7
like
times. It's like different circles all of a sudden, and then we forget where we're at. I don't know.
Connection.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's part of it. That was the connection, right?
Right.
Like the ice cream or the flavors.
What?
People can connect on that. You can connect on anything, right? Like you said, if someone can get
using it as okay. I was like, wait.
I mean, I think the biggest thing when I first talked to you, it sounded like when we started just talking about like our past and everything, we lived almost like parallel lives. We'd been in all the same clubs, worked with all the same
Are you going to
people.
go pee?
Yes, I am.
Yes.
He's going to take a poop.
Wow. And that's a connection.
That is recording still.
That's a connection all people have.
Oh, there you go.
It's true.
Dave
We're so afraid to
poops.
talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like everybody poops. So what is
I mean, there's people that make livings on poop, talking about poop. So, I mean,
those people?
doctors.
Oh, it's right.
Wow! Where were you taking that?
Like, wait, no, I'm just saying, like, who talks about people make a living talking about poop? Oh,
Doctors.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought I went like the podcast route. I was like, oh, there's a podcast
I
about
was thinking the
it.
same thing. I'm like,
Bro, there's a podcast about everything. There
Yes,
probably
yes.
is. Yeah.
It's probably right next to ours.
Yeah. Right next to ours on Anchor.
Shit talker. That's what it is.
Wait, that's the podcast that's ranked one above your
I know. We're doing better than we are, apparently.
Well, because I mean,
41 views.
yeah, because everyone shits, not everyone's 40. I mean,
This is true.
There you
But
go.
I put 40 shit.
but not every. Oh, never mind. I'm not going there.
But,
I'm just keeping my mouth shut now.
but like I said, we basically lived parallel lives without knowing
That's
each
cool.
other. Like,
Yeah.
It was like a multiverse, right?
It was weird.
And,
Well, that's something to connect with somebody on.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we've had it because if people don't have, if you've had like a rough past or just,
But
a unique
even at
one,
that,
and,
I think that's one part of it. But I do believe it's not even that, because I'm pretty sure we have other people that were trainers with us back in the day also, same age. We don't connect with them. I just think that we connect on the personality level.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
Yeah.
all that it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But I also believe that as fitness professionals or personal trainers, we have to be able to adapt to everyone's personality,
do.
because that's the only way to succeed.
Yep.
At a certain point, yes, you can be very picky about who you deal with, but in order to even start off in the industry, you have to learn how to adapt to everyone's personality.
Yeah.
I've always said, to be a good trainer, it takes 3 things. Number 1, you have to have personality. I don't care who you are. If you're a dick, no one's going to want to train with you.
Dave's back from his poop. I just want to point that out.
How'd it go?
It's fine once
Tell us about it.
It's a lot of fiber, apparently.
Once I pushed the little kid out of the way, it was fine.
They paid to be here.
Didn't pay me.
No, you're right though
Yes.
about the trainers.
Yeah.
So, 3 things to be a
3
good
things
trainer.
to be-
Three
Personality,
things.
right?
Yes.
You have to have personality.
100%,
If you don't have a personality, you're never going to make it.
No.
Like, people will not train with you.
True.
You have to be educated. You have to be smart enough to actually show progression as to what you're doing.
Right.
There's so many trainers out there that, again, YouTube trainers, Instagram trainers, they don't know anything.
Right.
And I do believe that it just takes time. You have to understand. You have to have time on the floor. I don't care what anyone says. We've been doing this for so long. Trainers these days, they don't get it. Like, guys, work the floor.
Right.
Work for free. Just get it out there. Right? And number 3, you have to have drive. You have to be driven, because this industry will eat you alive, because personal training is not a necessity of life.
Right.
It is a luxury. Don't care what anyone says. This is a luxury. Not everyone can afford even a $40 trainer, right? And that's like the low spectrum of everything. If you're a $40 trainer, no offense, like you don't value yourself.
Right.
And I say this to every trainer from the beginning. I know I said this to Cliff. I go, listen, you put so much effort into getting your certification, we have degrees. We went to school, right? I was like, dude, I spent 6 years in college and I still don't ever show my diploma to anybody. People have no clue what I've done, right? But I've spent how much money behind this education? At least get it back. At least get it back. Like, you have to know the value of what you're bringing. You chose to open that book. They didn't. You chose to read this stuff. They didn't. They want it for free. Why? Why do you get it for free? Like, what? Why am I supposed to just give this to you? What makes you so special? Right? There's got to be a give and take. And what I want to take is your money. And so that's what it is. That's what, like, I don't want anything else.
And you know what? Everyone views that as like such a bad thing.
Right.
It's
because
like,
you want to live, right?
I'm sorry. I want to make a living too.
Right.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, then I think the right people will value what.
As long as you show your value, right? You got to be able to prove your value to people. You have to prove that you could show results, i.e. these two. How many people have followed you through the years?
Almost all of them.
Right? How many people? This guy. You brought awesome. 28 people to the gym?
Wow.
Something like that. Right.
And they're all still there. They just still run around. And there are just more people going at him.
Great. That's amazing.
Cliff, how many, like, you had Fozzie follow you from the other gym that's closed down.
Yeah.
Right?
Fozzie Bear?
Fudzilla.
What is happening?
Fozzie Bear. His name is Fozzie.
Oh, Fozzie.
Yes. Same like bear.
Okay.
But again, I'm picky about who I deal with, and I firmly believe after a certain period of time, I should educate my clients enough that they don't need me. That's the way I see it. That's just my opinion. But if you need the appointment, totally different.
Yeah.
If you need me to stand there, fine, I'll do it, right? That's totally different world.
Right.
I think it's also some people, I don't mean to cut you off, I'm sorry, but some people don't have the ability to evaluate themselves. You know what I mean? So part of what we do as trainers is we design our programs based off the individual's needs.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of people are good at looking at themselves and going, what do I need to work on? And that's why they keep coming to us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had a guy started with me this week. He came from another trainer that essentially came to me because this guy had missed 4 sessions.
His trainer has?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Like in the last month.
Yeah, those are great.
That's
and
the trainer canceled on him?
Just didn't show up.
That's rough.
What?
Yeah. So I was on the floor finishing my workout, and front desk came up and said, "Would you be willing to train this guy?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And essentially, I was like, "Well, I'm going to show him like what a real trainer is." And I know he's not listening to this, but I don't think much of him as a trainer. This other guy.
Oh, okay.
But we got through about 3 or 4 movements, and the other guy showed up. And he finished the hour. And another guy was like, "Oh, why didn't you finish the session?" I was like, "It's his hour. He can do whatever he wants to do." But afterwards, he was like, "That was great," and he switched over both of his weekly sessions to me. And then the second one with me, he was like, "I kind of felt like we were doing the same things over and over and over." He's like, "But I don't know any better." He's like, until you did everything the way you do it." He's like, "Oh."
Depth perception, yeah.
So he's right. A lot of people don't know how to evaluate themselves. And this guy's
I thought you meant as trainers also, though. That's another thing. The trainers don't know how to evaluate.
No, I mean, like,
I knew. I realized that.
Trainers have to evaluate themselves
they do.
Too.
That's
we need to progress and educate ourselves and grow with the times and the science and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I also hire people to write programs for me sometimes. That's how I learn. Yeah, I do.
Huh. Interesting.
Depends on what I'm trying to do. Yeah, like if I'm trying to learn something new. Yeah, why not?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I know a lot of trainers who have trainers.
Yeah, of course, why not?
I was thinking of maybe hiring one in like a month or 2.
Mm-hmm. I know this guy Dave, he's really good.
This guy?
I heard he costs a lot, though.
Allie, no.
So
he's got a dick.
So worth it, though.
He poops in the middle of the night.
How did I become this episode's Phil? I don't get it.
It was on camera. You didn't see what happened? You got up.
I had to.
She's the one who brought the pooping part up. I told totally wasn't even us.
Oh, we were strictly saying pee.
Yeah, we literally was like, yo, you're going to go
like,
pee. And she's like, no, you're going to go poop. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
shoot, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Especially the way you were running. You were high-kneeing it over those cables. Like, it looked urgent.
Listen, you can't do too many high knees in these pants.
I mean,
But you were able to do that.
fair.
That's how bad it was.
That's why I'm shorts 24/7.
Yeah, it's true. Even in the winter.
Yeah.
It works. But anyways, so at the current moment, you are doing private stuff. You're
Correct.
exploring yourself even more. What's the goal? What do you want to do?
It's funny because, like, I don't really like that question because, like,
I don't know what it really does.
No,
but-
no, and not like.
I still don't
people
even
always
know.
ask that, like, what's the grand? Like, for me, I've chosen that I
Don't
know
care.
it's like you should have goals, and like I want to just like help people. My goal is to just help other people become comfortable in themselves.
Okay.
And so that's my goal. I don't know, like, long term. I'm kind of living, like, day by day because I think 2020 proved that we can't really plan too much ahead of time. And I feel like my life has, when I kind of surrendered and just let it roll how it's supposed to, it actually has been playing out pretty nice. And when I'm like, okay, by this date, I need this to happen, and it's not naturally progressing to that, but I'm stressing over it getting there, it's like, damn, then you feel defeated, where I feel like I've kind of surrendered to life. Like, okay, this is what's happening. The private stuff kind of slowly started to happen. Now it's turned into a business I feel very confident in. And now with my newer mindset shift, I want other women and men to feel the same way that I'm feeling because it's really freeing and relieving, I feel like.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head where it makes sense as to, like, even right now, I don't have a specific goal in life anymore. I had a specific goal to be a millionaire by the time I was 25.
Okay.
What a huge disappointment so far that is.
But you're probably young.
Because 20 years later, it still hasn't happened, right? And I'm just like, wow, what a loser. But not.
Not a loser at all.
Because I realized, like you said, right, we're kind of rolling with the punches, and I do believe what Dave said also, that things are happening for a reason, right? I believe in God. I truly believe in God. I believe that there's a reason for God to put me in positions for whatever it is. Sure. Whether people want to roll with me or not, doesn't matter. It's my belief, right? I do believe that I wasn't ready to take on certain things until now. And I do believe now is the time where, with these guys specifically, we didn't come together for no reason, right? That, like I said it before, we put one of our other guys, Will, in the room with us, and we put Chris in the room with us, and we put Andrew in the room with us. Like, that's like a killer team. Like, we can take on this industry and destroy it. I already know we can.
I love that.
It's just one of those things that I firmly believe, and it all happened. I only met Will 2 years ago, right? I met Andrew that day.
Yeah.
I met Chris that day for the first time in my life also, right? And it's one of those things where I'm like, in this last year, there's been more movement in the direction that I want to go in. Because again, you said you just want to help people. My goal has always been, I've given up on the millionaire thing.
Okay.
I don't need.
That's what's going to happen when you give up on it.
I don't need $1 million. I just need my kids to be fed and everything to move forward in life, and I need a new car. But that's but
That would be nice.
My ultimate goal, and we've said this, this project we're working on, I want to help trainers be better trainers. I want to help people find their strengths. Right? That's all I want to do. I guess I want to be a life coach in a weird way, but more in the fitness industry and business time. And I think that this is the group that I could do this with, because we all hold a specific task of this entire this bigger picture. I think that we all have strengths. Yes, Phil sits back. Look at him. Look what he's doing. He's the youngest one here. He's a quarter of a century. Right? He's not even in his 30s yet, but he's the guy that we're gonna build and make the next person on this team, right? He's gonna be the educator for the next. He's going to be. Right. There's no way around it. He's already in our circle. He's already part of this team, and I like that part. I like that we're gonna mold people like Cliff. We're going to do it, and I think that's, like you said, it's just about helping people.
Right.
And
we'll
when you
mold
help people,
trainers to mold people.
Right.
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 Like,
and it's a big education thing. I just
Yeah.
think we have to teach people to be better people.
Yeah.
Just be better people. Like you hate in the
100%.
world, all this other garbage. just evaluate
like expectations of ourselves, you know, like we just have so much, and you see that, like, you know, people come to us, I should say, like as trainers, like very vulnerable, like, you know, they tell us about their biggest insecurities and
we're therapists,
right? Like there's sometimes people tell me things, I'm like, oh my God, now I have to live with this, like knowing, but like if we could spread the good word, like people do in a way look up to us when it comes to things like their health and fitness. Joking. But I think that what is being put out there by trainers and by even like nutritionists and dietitians and doctors even of like a much higher status is not right. Like it's not actually healthy, or I don't know, it's not actually healthy. So it's
because you know, and we have to understand this. We're battling the medical industry, right? That's a business.
Right.
They're in the business to make money also.
Right.
Just like we are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they have a little bit more of an upper hand because apparently their education of 8 years plus apparently trumps our education of like just life, right? And I feel like that's where a lot of that stuff goes wrong, right? Like everyone, and I'll say there's a huge part of the population that will only listen to a doctor because they're a doctor. I'm like, they're like a dermatologist, right? And you're going to listen to them about internal problems, right? But again, we're able to show you these things and how it changes.
Yeah.
Like we're able to physically be there, not just for 15 minutes. And that's a huge thing that I think we have to overly emphasize with these people that we're here. Like we're in your face. Like I say this to my clients at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like I hate waking up that early now, right? I used to do the 5 a.m. also, but I have a husband and wife that I train 3 days a week, 7 a.m. in their house. Like, very loaded people. I go there and I'm just like, man, I'm in your face. I came to your house. I did my job and I'm here for 2 hours, 3 days a week with you. Like, I'm showing you that I'm putting the effort to do something for you. Like you can't just fall back on that whole thing, right? And I think that we have to do that. We have to lead by example at that point. My phone is going off like crazy. And that's where a lot of these things go wrong, where trainers fail because they're not willing to put in that time.
Right.
And we have to teach that habit, right? People have bad habits. It doesn't go their way. They stop.
Right.
Man, you're going to go through a lot of hell. Listen, we're 42 years old, 43 years old. We've gone through a lot of hell. And, like, it gets better. Well, sometimes, right? Sometimes, but you get through it. I'm still alive.
Sometimes you just learn how to deal with it, too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You have to,
That's all it is, man. Yeah. I mean, but people are scared, right? And fear is one of those factors that we have to learn how to deal with, you know? It's just a feeling. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen. It sucks. It just totally sucks. But we all do. We're human. Unless you don't. And I don't know what to say about you.
As long as whatever your next decision or whatever your move is, as long as you and your values are steering that ship and not the fear.
True.
Like the fear of the outcome or whatever. It's like, I'm just going to do this because I don't want this to happen. Well, then the fear made your decision, not you.
It's true.
Rather Yoda-esque. Very nice.
Rather Yoda.
But sometimes it forces you to do the thing that's not the easiest, but the thing that needs to get done.
Yeah, sometimes fear is the barrier you have to push through.
And you have to, whether it forces you to look at yourself a different way or look at the situation a different way, or even something you're not totally equipped to handle at the moment, but that's how you get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, experience and failure are two of your best teachers.
Nice.
It's true.
So, Allie, do you have a population that you like working with more than others?
I love working with pregnant women.
Okay.
And I love working with like middle-aged women.
Okay.
I feel like that's like my specialty. That's like my biggest demographic that I've always worked with. I feel like I just attract that. So yeah, that's probably.
What about that attracts you to it?
I don't know. I mean, I just think that especially like middle-aged women, pregnant women and middle-aged women are at a point in their lives where there's changes going on physically that they're not used to, whether it's pregnancy, which is the obvious, like, you know, you're growing a human inside of you, you surrender your body to another life, and for a lot of women it's a shock, and then after they give birth, I work with a lot of postpartum women as well, you know, and same thing, middle-aged women, they're either approaching or at menopause, their body is, and they're uncomfortable and they're, self-conscious and they're kind of like, oh my God, just like help me. Like, what do I do? And I think that having helped a lot of those women overcome certain expectations of themselves as well as make physical real changes has been just so rewarding. And I think just like women, even though I'm not quite there yet, like I haven't had my kids, but just experience working with them, I kind of know how to. And it's just really rewarding to just like, and then build relationships with these people too, which is really cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it kind of helps you get ready for when you're like, I haven't had my kids yet, but it helps you respect the place that they're at and where
100%.
and where you want to be and how to approach that in a different way than what you thought about even like last year, right?
Yeah, it's true. Really, really true.
Now, do you feel like you end up learning a lot from them being in that position as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My clients teach me I'm sure you guys realize this too, right? Your clients teach you guys. Like, if we hadn't worked with that person with like this injury or that problem or this, maybe we wouldn't have learned what we did from them. So like, yes, ultimately we're helping them, but they're also teaching us. So it's like a give and a take, which is like the coolest part, I think, about being a trainer.
No doubt. Definitely.
And, just like John said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he's wearing a shirt that says
like,
Joseph.
at his client's house, 3 days a week in the morning, it's the same. It's such an intimate relationship that we have with these people, and they trust us, and they're giving us their money and literally their bodies, and they're like, here, do, and it's like, what we say to them, they're going to believe. So it's like a lot of trust, and I think that's just like a really cool, it's just a cool thing.
Definitely.
And I think what we convey to them and put out into the world, we need to be really mindful of like what that is and not take it lightly. Because there's a lot of trainers who just are like, I got myself fit, I know how to work out, and so I can like train
I was
these
going
people.
to say, she's right, they take it lightly. And they're not.
It's like a big deal, It's like to be somebody to give you their body, their time, their money, open up to you about all of their insecurities and probably other things that we're not really like necessarily paid to do, but we do. And so it really needs to be taken very seriously, and we need to make sure that what we're spreading out into the world is true and is actually ultimately making them healthier and better and realistic.
Very cool.
Yeah, no, just even thinking about that on just the truth of what you're doing, right? This is why I say you have to be educated, because there are so many trainers out there that, again, like you said, there's one trainers, and we see it. We see trainers all the time like this. They do the same thing with different clients, the same exercise with different clients, expecting different results from whatever they're trying to do, is because that's all they know what to do, right? And we have this, what we're supposed to have, they're like you said, they're trusting us to make the right decisions for them. That's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot.
With their body, like literally their everything, it's like that's all we have.
And right. And like we could screw that up. And I've seen that happen so many times, being from a manager of New York sports clubs, whatever the company's going under. I've gone through depositions for the company itself because trainers have messed up clients, right? I was called twice.
Oh shit!
Trainers, injured their clients. The clients sued the trainer. The building had nothing to do with it, right? The building, New York Sports Club,
something threw into a wall or something.
Right. And these clients were before I was managing West Caldwell. That happened before I was the manager. I still had to go as a representative because that trainer was still working under me. And this is why I tell people all the time, writing your programs down, having it on paper is legitimate. You need it because in court, they asked to see the programming.
Right.
They wanted to see what equipment was used, right? And I remember this other one, they were using a jump rope to stretch, right? The jump rope snapped and hit the client in the face. The client sued the trainer. The client won, right? Because the jump rope is not a tool meant for stretching.
Right.
So they lost.
It's like an extreme to like sue your
I'm
trainer.
hurting just from that already.
Right,
Like, what are you doing?
Well, again, the trainer had no other tool, but was trying to.
He was the tool.
Teaching the right stretch, though. Right? It's a basic hamstring stretch.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything. You didn't have your stretch strap. How many people have stretch straps? Right? No, I have one, but
I have a jump stretch band.
is it the same? Is it meant for stretching?
Well, it's got the name stretch in it.
But if they look it up under the patent,
Yeah, actually it is.
Made?
It is.
So again,
Jump stretch is used for stretching, right?
You can use resistance bands for stretching. Yes.
Yeah, no, because
No.
but the guy actually teaches a course of how to stretch with it.
but again, is the piece, if you go back to the patent,
Yeah.
is it meant for stretching? That's where they go with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I literally saw.
Yeah.
Jump rope is not meant to stretch.
Right.
So you are not, you use the
The word jump is in it. No, I'm just kidding.
another
rope.
same situation happened with another trainer. They were using, instead of glides or was it veil slides, the sliders,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sliders. They were using the furniture movers.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Tore his inner thigh, so or the groin muscle doing
Adductor?
it, right? The adductor, right? I wasn't sure what muscle it was, but I remember it was on the inner thigh. Tore it.
Ouch.
Lost that one because that piece was not meant for
Right.
fitness.
Wow.
I was like, it's the same exact concept. No, but if you look at the brand, you look at so you have to know certain things.
Yeah.
Your programming, we're the trainer that got sued for New York Sports Club. They wanted to see the programming in writing. They wanted to see the progressions. They wanted to see what they were doing as to why this client got hurt.
Wow.
Why do you not have it on record?
But to be fair, who's evaluating that? Do they have an exercise physiologist there, like going through it?
No, not at all. But the fact, but here's the thing: we didn't have it on paper, so we already lost from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't write anything down. I'm like, great. So then they made me watch him. And I was just like, what am I supposed to do? What? We'll follow him around? What? Like write his program down? Didn't have the eval form. The first initial form I tell people all the time, you need that evaluation form signed. That's a liability. That shows by this client signing this. I tell clients all the time, by you signing this, you're telling me everything that you put on this paper is truth. I go, you're telling me this is all the ailments I need to know about you. By signing this proves you are not, this takes me out of the picture.
Right.
And then once they sign it, all right, everything on there, good. But if it's not signed, even you look at it like, oh, you didn't tell me these things. Well, didn't sign it. It happens all the time, man. I've seen it happen. That's why trainers have to be smart about things. You gotta cover yourselves. You do. You have to cover yourselves, man. People don't get that part. I see it happen. Gotta make you guys better trainers. Screw that. Gotta show that part.
My mom got hurt by a trainer once.
Sue them.
She didn't.
Should've.
No.
Could've gotten
she was
money.
like, I mean, whatever. But yeah,
I'm just
she
kidding.
tore her knee.
Ooh.
Doing what?
I don't remember exactly what she was doing, but I mean, she worked with this lady for a while and would come home and like would literally be crippled for like days. And I used to say, I'd be like, Mom, I feel like that's like a little like
Right.
because then she like couldn't go to the gym for like a week until the and I would, and this was like way before I was a trainer or knew too much about fitness, and she ultimately ended up getting hurt with her. And she kept saying, I feel like this is too much, like I'm not really comfortable.
See,
and,
that's
like,
why trainers
she
don't-
would
they don't
portray that
listen.
to her. Yeah, and I'm like, I would never, if a client was saying that their knee felt uncomfortable
Stop
doing
it
a
right then and
movement, I would
there.
be like, oh, just do it. You know, like over and over again. Like that's crazy to me.
Right.
Goes back to communication.
Right.
Yeah. But she was communicating. She kept saying, she's like, you're treating me like I'm 20, like I'm 50. So like, let's,
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things where you just walk away.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yep, you're not
she trained
listening.
with me and everything was good.
How is that training a parent?
Oh, training my mom was great. So my mom is like, I'm so proud because, like you said, you want to train people to ultimately not need you. Or,
Right.
So that's exactly what happened to my mom. So my mom started working with me, and she worked with me here when it was New York Sports Club, and then I trained her at home, and she used to come to the gym sometimes.
Who's the manager when you were here?
Nate.
Oh, Nate. Okay, yeah.
Your Nate? Will's Nate?
No. No,
Nate. I'm still friends with Nate. And so
He's over
now
at, he has a Quest.
yeah.
He's at Quest now.
I was there for like a week.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Is it Hasbro Kites?
yeah.
It's a hard one. It's
Yeah,
a
it was
one-way
just,
street.
Far.
Yeah.
But now my mom has learned and now just trains herself. She doesn't even go to a gym anymore. She
go.
just like rides her bike and lifts like through what I've taught her, and she's in probably the best shape she's been in a while.
That's awesome.
And I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know.
Yeah, you educated
Makes
her.
me so happy. Yeah. And she like knows. She's like, you know, she puts herself together like a good. She's like, okay, today I'm hitting lower body, hitting upper body today. I'm doing a little bit of like a more of a conditioning today, some cardio, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wow, like this is amazing that you can just...
And you did your job.
Did my job.
You did your job the right way. And that's hard to do with family.
Yeah, it's very hard to do with family.
It's very hard to do because they don't...
My mom's like my best friend. So I've tried to do it with my dad. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, I know. I can't do it with my family. Can't even do it with significant others. Like, it's
I think
the
that's
worst
harder,
thing.
significant others.
Oh, it's the worst. It's like we go to the gym, we're like, yeah, I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you in an hour.
Yeah, because we've tried it so many times and we're just like, listen, babe, I'm done. You're not even listening to me. You're too smart for me, apparently.
Yeah.
God forbid the guy with a degree knows anything. Oh, but I have a degree too. I'm like, shut up.
We're not marketing here, Dave.
Doesn't matter. That's not it. You guys have anything else to say? I lost track of my brain.
No, I just other than her mom's legit.
My mom is legit.
Yeah,
Dave
yeah.
knows my mom.
I always see them training all the time, but she always looked. It was
Here?
what?
Here?
No. At that in Montvale.
In Montvale.
At Montvale.
And it didn't look. It looked like a very professional trainer-client relationship.
Yeah, my mom comes into work.
They had
She's-
it was like a very well defined. Like, I'm here to do my thing. You're my daughter, yes, but I'm here to you're going to do what you need to do with me.
Did she pay you?
We laughed a lot. She insisted on buying sessions.
Good.
Like, insisted.
Good.
that's awesome.
Well, because she
held
so
it
what's
accountable
happening
then.
was I would train her for free, and I'd be like, well, like I have to put this client, that client. I was like having
She
to put
wasn't
a
a
paying
priority.
client
Yeah.
in front of her, and she's like, I'm going to pay, and I need you to treat me like a paying client. I was like, no, I'll just start treating you like a paying client. She's like, no. So I thought that was really cool about
No,
her too.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
her taking charge of what she knows she needs.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah, you got to be priority.
Yeah.
You got to make them priority then. Yeah.
And she wants to support me and stuff too, I'm sure.
She
but-
invested in you.
Yeah, she did.
She invested in you.
The quicker she can line her pockets, the faster she got out of the house.
Exactly. She's like, take my money, get out.
Here's your down payment.
Yeah, no excuse now.
That's cool. So this just came into my head, like thinking for the future. Like I said, I know you said you don't have like an ultimate goal
Yes.
or whatever it may be, but in the next, he's saying like 3 to 5 years, whatever it may be. In the near future, what's ideally what you want to happen for yourself besides just helping other people? Are you plan on sticking to just the in-home stuff, or more group X stuff, or do you want to find a home to actually ultimately bring these people to one place so you don't have to do so much, or do you like to travel and stuff like that?
I think I really like the in-home stuff, especially because I'm working with people that I've kind of known. There's a few, I definitely have some new clients, but I just think that it's lucrative. And, but I wouldn't be opposed to if that were to be the future of things kind of progressing. Like if my clients decide, right now they're kind of like, I'm good doing this. Like, I'm loving what we're doing. Like, sometimes we're outside, sometimes we're in the backyard. They have their friends getting together. I have groups of them, and I've almost like built a community. Like, they're friends like with each other. So like, I teach classes, they come to my classes, then I teach some of them privately, then some don't come to my classes at all. So to answer your question, I would not be opposed to working in a gym or something. I thought maybe for a while I wanted to open my own place, but I don't really want to be so locked down to an area, because I do foresee myself possibly moving, maybe figuring out a job that I can do on the road a little bit, and so maybe even one day do something different. I don't know, but still like in the health and wellness industry, but I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
But I like, that's what me and Lauren are like trying to figure out something.
Well,
like
outside of fitness, what else do you like? Nothing. It's hard to say. Look, when you're in the
Ice cream.
Yeah, basically, yes, ice cream. I love to hike. I'm like a big hiker.
Okay.
So that would be something cool. I've thought about like being like
a professional hiker.
Like a hiking guide of some sort. I've taken groups on hikes and stuff, but no, I think like I would love to do just something to help empower women. I don't know what it is, but
Okay.
I really see that. The past couple of months, like I said, I've had this like mindset shift where I just want to empower women to just feel better about themselves, because working with women for the past 6 years, I'm realizing that we are just programmed, and men probably too, but I do work with men, I've worked with men, but I just see it so much in women that we're just so programmed to like hate ourselves, and it's like crazy that, and it just shouldn't be that way.
I think that
Maybe hate ourselves.
Did you realize that more after you got to the point you are now where you're like, I was doing things that are healthy that made me feel unhealthy? Did you like relate to that more once you got to that place? Like, oh, we're programmed to hate ourselves, and I might be hating myself right now, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Yes. Well, that's what, like, I took fitness to, like, an extreme, and, like, healthy eating to, like, an extreme, because I wanted to look like I wanted people to want to look like me. And I was praised for how I looked, and I was praised for being, like, super lean, ripped, and all that, but I wasn't actually, like, that healthy. Like, my hormones were, like, shot, and that's what I'm trying to work on right now. So what that took was me actually eating less healthy and exercising less. Now, I know I'm in, like, a unique case. Maybe not everybody takes it to that, like, level, but I think people can learn from my experience where it's, like, chasing, like, women are very much physical driven. Like, we're constantly, like, looking at ourselves, wanting to change ourselves, hating cellulite, stretch marks, belly rolls, thighs touching, and it's, like, consuming us because that's all we see via, like, Instagram. It's all we see market. You know, you open a Cosmo magazine, it's like, how to get a flatter stomach, how to get a thigh gap, like, how to be better looking, and it's like, let's, like, detach ourselves from that, like, work out to be actually just healthy, you know, eat good because it feels good, not to look a certain way. And so I'm trying to, like, I want to be a part of this movement because there is a movement going on like that right now. Yeah. You know, like, people are, like, fat phobic, and, like, it just needs to, like, stop. It needs, like,
so
take it down a notch.
Do we think that men go through that?
Yes. Oh my God, they do.
Yeah.
I would love.
100%.
I said it to you today, right?
Absolutely.
I was always curious. I think so. Like, before you even came in,
we were talking about.
Yeah, he was like, "What am I going to talk to her about?" And I brought this up.
Oh.
I said, "I'm curious. I've never seen it, and I've never felt that way.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how many guys go around in this industry like, I need to look like Mr. Abs on the Instagram page."
Yeah, I think that
I see it in some of the members. I've come across members through the various gyms I've been in where I happen to know, like, the girlfriend, and she's like, he just eats, like, canned tuna all day, and, like, that's it. And just, like, works out for, like, 2 hours, like, every day. And he just, like, wants to be Mr. Ripped, but probably hates his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what about your life is going to change once you get there?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, cool, you got a six-pack. You got to wear a shirt when you go to work.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, you've never felt it. Cliff, have you ever felt that way, that you have to look a certain way?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it when Lauren was here.
I missed it. Go ahead.
that even more so when it comes to the nutrition coaching, like, I feel like I have to have, like, six-pack abs and be shredded to, like, have that credibility. And, like,
Right. But don't you think that, like, with the six-pack, for a lot of people, like, it's a very extreme, for a lot of people, not all. There's always those freaks of nature who just have a six-pack, and we all hate those people, but I'm just kidding.
No, we do.
But we do.
We do.
But yeah, it's like what took for my abs to show was an unhealthy route.
Right.
Yeah.
But I looked, like, people looked at me and they were like, I want to look like that.
Right.
But it's like, but do you...
You want to go through it.
Yeah, you want to go through this. Yeah, and it's like... But, like, that's what we're shown is health. That's what we're shown is fitness. And that's what people believe. And so that's what they try to achieve. And it's hard to, like, get that through to a client. Like, recently I have this lady who wants to start working with me, and I'm on the phone with her talking about, like, what are your goals, like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I just want to be skinny. And she is skinny. And I'm like, well, really? Like, that's all you want? Like, you just want to be skinny? And I was like, okay, so when you achieve, so what are you trying to achieve out of being skinny?
Like concentration camp, people
what
are
is that going
skinny.
to bring you in your life? Is that going to bring abundance? Is that going to bring joy? Is that going to make you healthy? And she just, like, stopped. And she's like, all right, I just want to be strong then. And I was like, cool, we can work with that.
But my red flag would be like, why did you just change it all of a sudden?
Yeah, like on a dime.
What just happened in 2 seconds that you changed your mind from skinny to I just want to be strong?
Yeah, I think,
so you have no clue what you want.
Yeah, and I think, I know, but yeah, and so I don't want people to I don't want that to be an answer from people.
Right.
And it's not her fault that she wants to be like that. It's just what we're that's what we're told we should look like in order to be considered fit, you know, or healthy. And it's not the case. There's an in between. It's like you're either, like, morbidly obese or you are ripped, and it's like, nah. there could be a
You can totally live in the middle somewhere.
It's actually healthier to live in the middle.
I think you just got to be happy. I mean, but I do ultimately believe that. Even I always speak for myself. Everyone knows that. During COVID, where I had nothing to do but work out twice a day, everything else is where I concentrated on myself the most, and I was able to get myself lower. I lost 46 pounds.
Wow.
And I dropped my body fat. It was great, but it did take that much effort of not working. Number one, right, having all the freedom and like 5 hours a day.
Right.
Yeah, I was happy doing it because I was bored out of my mind.
Right.
So I gave myself a task.
Yeah.
And then work happened where you opened the gyms again, and I completely lost it. Right, and it's just because life started for me.
It wasn't realistic.
Right, and that's my whole thing. Is just like, yeah, man, I got a lot of praise for the change, but I was like, yeah, but it took how much time out of my life? I can't, like, it's unrealistic for me to do that because I still work.
Thing, yeah.
You know, I have kids, I have a family, I got to keep the lights on. You know, and you know, unemployment stopped.
Right.
You proved to yourself that it could be done,
right?
But at what cost?
Right.
And then maybe at some point you get closer to that, realizing like, okay, I can do this maybe a little bit more, maybe this a little bit more, if you want to. And Lauren brought up a great point to something that you say often, like when we see some of the dads who are our ages, who looks like they just fell off the truck, like just stopped giving a shit. And she was like, we don't know what they have going on at home. We don't know what work is like. So maybe getting to the gym and just doing a thing is good enough for them. Yeah. Like they don't care. They have too many other things that are more important than like whatever they're looking like at the moment. Right. For us, we've been in this for so long. We have a very specific range of what we could look like, or what we think we should all look like, that we want to look like for ourselves. But for those guys, it's a completely different thing.
Is that right, though? Is it right?
It is. I was like, I didn't think about it like that. Well, it depends,
You're
right?
also more educated too. Like, you know how to like balance out like a really crazy work day and still maybe get a legit lift or workout in. Or even
lately, I've had a lot of people like they see me on the floor, they'll see me in the office, be like, well, "What's your diet like?" And when I tell them, they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have Reese's Puff cereal with a protein shake as my milk." And they're like, "You eat that?" I'm like, "All the fucking time." But it's like, I'm like,
that's really good.
But it's like, I try to explain to them, like, you can look however you want to look. Nothing has to be extreme, but you need to think about what's important to you.
Right.
Why do you want to look this way?
100%.
Because that's one of the first things I'll start asking people, like, what about that number is so important to you?
Right.
Are you a better person? Are you a better spouse? Are you a better parent at 130 pounds as opposed to 140 pounds? I mean, if it's yes to all of that, then okay, let's get to work. Right. But it's probably not.
Right.
And then they can relieve some of the pressure from themselves about what they need to do right now in the gym and more enjoy the process and be more receptive to learning stuff that you're trying to tell them instead of just being like, get me to this number.
Right.
Fuck your number.
Right.
The scale number is annoying.
Well, that's what I said. I can care less about a scale.
I understand like having like body composition goals. Like I get that.
Body composition goes, well, not the scale. Like that.
Yeah, the scale is unreal. Yeah, it's just people need to.
Scale's
the
only
BMI thing needs to just be done. Like I don't understand.
Right.
As long as I try to just get people to understand, they're just data points. Data points in time, whether it's weight, body fat, circumference measure, whatever it is, they're just data points.
Yeah.
It just tells
looking for improvement.
It just tells you where you are on like Friday, June 18th at 6:20 p.m. That's it.
Right.
You're still awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
your family still loves you. Your friends are still your friends. Like you're cool.
But it's whether you love yourself or not, right?
Yeah.
That's the scary part is where you're too hard on yourself. I do believe it. We're always really hard on ourselves.
We're
it
programmed
sucks,
to
man.
be hard on ourselves. We're really told to be. You know?
Well, we were just talking about this about one of the trainers that we knew back in the day in Westwood, right? He was not the best looking trainer in the world, straight power lifter, but he was so busy, right? And everyone's like, well, why would anyone want to train with that guy? I'm like, dude, you ever sit and talk to this guy? Probably one of the smartest trainers I've ever met in my life. Like, just the education part alone. And he was a nice guy. He was just a nice guy, right? But yeah, no, he didn't practice what he preached.
Right.
He totally didn't. I don't know if he was that strong. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know. I never saw him lift.
I've never seen him lift either. I remember that. I go, I don't remember, but he knew his shit.
Yeah,
he knew it. He was smart.
He looked
was
like
busy.
He looked like a sack of chewed bubble gum.
It's a very good metaphor. but
busy.
But busy.
50
50 sessions a week.
Right.
Damn.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, he was legit doing 200 sessions a month.
And this is like mid-early 2000s when that was like those were fantastic numbers at New York
when Westwood just opened.
I didn't even know there was a New York Sports Club in Westwood, to be honest with you.
Really?
It closed down.
They
They're
took
demolishing the building. I live right by it.
It's turning into a UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we went over there. I went over there for when they were trying to sell the equipment. I went in to buy some stuff for Jeff's Quest, and they had the UFC gym sitting out there. I was like, "Is the UFC gym coming in here?" They're like, "Yeah, we took off the whole top floor."
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, they got rid of the whole
UFC gym.
Should have left that.
That's what I said. I go, why don't you just leave the building the way it is? Like, why are you changing that part? I don't know how that changes anything with real estate. I don't know anything about real estate.
That could be a reason.
But yeah, and going back to the whole thing, and a lot of trainers feel like they got to look a certain way too, and they want to talk this game, and I'm like, that's why a lot of these YouTube trainers. There's that one guy, or there's several guys actually on YouTube, V Shred and all these other. I'll call you out. Whatever.
Numbnuts,
right? And there's another guy, I forgot his name. He's talking about he found the way to keep your testosterone levels at a certain point, blah blah blah. And I looked him up. I'm like, you're 24 years old. Right? Your testosterone levels are completely different than mine.
Yeah.
I go, dude, I have nothing to listen to you about. I was like, you have no idea what I had to go through to do these things. That's why I'm just like
well, that's the problem now, because it's like the younger generation is all savvy with the YouTube and the Instagram and the TikTok, so they're the ones that are like, oh, like, do what I'm doing and you can look like me. It's like, you're 22 and this person's 55, so like, yeah, you don't have cellulite yet, like, just wait a couple years, you know? And it's like, that's the problem, and like, I don't know, it's just it's all an illusion.
It's false expectations for certain people. That's just it, though.
Yeah.
Right? You don't. Why do you want to look like you're 22 again, though? Like,
I mean,
and it is weird to say that. I'm like, do you not like yourself now? Like, what's wrong
we're
with
told
you now?
like you got to look younger, you got to look hotter, you got to be like tighter, you got to, it's like,
I'd rather look like I look right now than when I was 22. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning to just like.
What's wrong with you at 22?
I don't know. I like myself now better.
He likes himself now. That's good.
Okay,
that's great.
He was bigger than when we were 22. I remember.
Probably.
You were big. I remember.
Yeah, I was like 217 pounds. I'm $180 right now. I'd rather look like this though.
Well, yeah, maybe your life is better not having
this
to
is when he
sustain
used to
that
wear the
amount of
red
weight.
floor trainer shirts.
Oh yeah.
He was wearing the red. I just remember him shrugging in the red. He was doing shrugs. I was like, he's on the floor. I was like, what's he doing? He's shrugging.
I feel like I look now actually almost body wise similar than I looked when I was 22, because somewhere in between I have lost a bunch of weight, and I recently put some on.
Reacquired the weight. Not put some on.
Put it on. Reacquired.
Reconstituted.
So like now I'm kind of almost like back at. I mean, maybe like my face looks different, but like body.
Do you feel better about yourself?
Yeah, I feel good.
Feel good.
Yeah, I'm learning to feel good. It's a work in progress.
Okay.
Well, physically, do you feel better?
Physically, I feel good.
Yeah,
yes,
that's a big change.
I do. I have more energy and I sleep better, and hormones are getting there, and all that stuff. So
yeah, those are important.
Yeah, those are important.
Yeah, those are things we got to look at.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my numbers done after Vinny told us to get our numbers. All right, let's get these numbers done. I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with me. It's mental for me.
Well, it's a real thing for women too. Like when women get really fit, it could.
Oh yeah,
really
well that definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I know this is like a men's podcast. You don't need to talk about all that stuff.
No, not necessarily.
No.
We deviated from that a long time ago.
Nothing to do with it.
But that needs to be talked about more too.
We did get like a 3% jump in female listenership.
Well, yeah, we definitely will.
We were like at 70%. It was like 70-30 male female. Now it's like 67% male.
I listen to some male podcasts. It's cool to get the perspective. But yeah, no, I mean that should be. Hormone health should also be something that trainers talk about, and it's like, okay, you do something like these physique competitions or CrossFit, and so it's like you're not told like, okay, like you want to do this, great, but this could happen to you, or you want to eat like this, great, this could happen to you. You want to get your body fat this low, cool, but this can happen. You should just be aware of what could happen.
Yeah.
People
You know?
need to know.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
No, there's trade-offs to everything.
Yeah.
There definitely are trade-offs to everything.
So that is another thing I think that needs
Well,
to
yeah.
be-
I mean, how many eating disorders have come from these competitions?
Yeah.
You
Eating
know?
disorders, loss of menstrual cycles, like it's
I think so many women are not prepared for the fact that like you're going to look amazing for like the last 4 or 5 days, but after that, that's not what reality is.
No.
But they
yeah,
get
it's like
so
a mindfuck.
attached to being like, oh my god, I can see everything.
Mm-hmm. That's not exactly healthy. That's what skeletons do.
No.
You know?
and
I
a
mean,
woman's body isn't supposed to get that low.
No.
Childbearing purposes.
Yeah, well, it's true.
I say
It's
that all
why
the
their
time,
menstrual
man.
cycle stops. It's because the body's like, whoa, we can't reproduce right now.
No.
Like, you are not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. I'm just like, why do you want to give that up? But it's up to you. Again,
Right.
hey, that's
well,
your
yeah,
goal.
I mean,
That's
like,
your goal.
but they should just be aware of it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like, it needs to
absolutely.
be communicated. You know,
Absolutely.
people I had people tell me that I should do physique because I sustained what was pretty close to probably having been able to step on stage for quite a few years, and I'm very glad that I didn't ever do it because I think that I would have just probably ended up with like an eating disorder or something, you know, and maybe at one point had
But
something.
you know this guy
going.
Dave, he could have helped you with that.
Maybe it could be done right. I don't know, but yeah.
Pretty sure it could be done right.
It can.
Pretty sure it could be done
Yeah.
correctly.
Everybody, all the females I worked with, they were always fine,
That's good.
and they got pretty lean, but then we also controlled their post show a little bit better
Right.
than just a fucking free for all.
Give him the right drugs.
Jesus Christ.
Nice. That's called Clomid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to be educated. Like, so you need to just be spreading the good word. Is what it is. You know,
All the good stuff.
all the good.
Nah, like, listen, like I know that Dave does this stuff. I'm like, there's plenty of ways you get on that stage and be fine. I mean, but there's the extremes, you know. Yeah, let's YouTube it instead. Let's Google
Right,
it. Dave,
yeah.
Dave costs money.
Yeah.
You know how many people when we were doing the meals, there were a lot of competitors coming to us from a very particular person who Ali probably
I
knows,
know exactly what you're talking about.
and it was like it was like 32 meals a week. It was just like flounder and asparagus.
Blech.
I'm like, yeah, it'll work because
Yeah,
you're eating like
I mean-
300 calories a week.
I like
But
flounder.
like,
Only
I
flounder.
know, I'm joking.
it's like,
like
you know,
flounder too.
and then then the coach has them doing like 2 hours of cardio a day. It's like, yeah, of course you're beating yourself up.
Yeah.
But some people don't know any better. Like, it works, but like a lot of things work. I could walk out of this room by busting through this fucking wall.
Right, or
But
you could
the
use the
door is a
door.
better option.
Yes.
There's always a better option.
That's who had attempted to get me to do a physique.
Of course. I
competition.
said
And
this
was
the
like,
other
I don't really
day.
want to. I haven't had the best relationship with like my body and food and all that.
Yeah,
good
that's the
shit.
worst fucking thing you could have
And he
done.
was like, I was like literally saying like, I don't think this is healthy for somebody with my mindset. He's like, no, you should like pushing it. I'm like, he's like trying to kill me or something.
I've never understood that. It was like you make a little bit of progress, and then it was like you should probably do drugs because you'll get more progress faster.
Well, that person did have, they were giving out drugs.
See?
See,
Yeah, that's
the American way.
That's what we have to combat.
Come on, instant gratification.
Because other people would see that and be like, "Oh wow, like his clients changed so much." Yeah,
Yeah, they spent $1,300 on GH.
yeah.
It's on the good
Body by Pfizer.
I mean, honestly, it's the way our medical system runs.
It is.
Oh, you got high blood pressure? Here's a pill. Forget about go to the
Oh,
gym
my
and,
God.
you know,
we could talk about this.
oh, your sugar's
for
off?
years.
Here's a pill.
Just give me some Blue Bombers and we're fine.
Right. Right.
Back to the
Website.
sword.
There's a website that we have.
Just call me Captain Cialis.
That
That
messes
is
with your
true.
hormones
That is
also.
Yeah.
like, it's a problem, and nobody
Yeah.
gets to the root of the problem. They just try to mask it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, yeah, instant gratification.
And, yeah.
That's what we want, right?
Like I had doctors for years tell me, "Oh, you want your hormones to be right? Take birth control. Just go on birth control." And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
no, there's got to be an underlying reason as to why my body is.
Yeah,
doing
they don't
this.
just like, we don't want to work right today.
Right.
Why?
For literally 5 years, I had 4 doctors just be like, "Well, just go on birth control then, if that's what you want. If you want your hormones to be."
But you're like, no, what's wrong with me?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yes, and they were like, "Well, you trying to get pregnant?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Okay, well then, when you want to get pregnant, you'll just do IVF, and all will be good."
I love that. That's not like the worst thing. It's just like
4 doctors.
Were these just GPs or were they OBGs? What were they?
OBGs, and then
That's kind of surprising.
Two OBGs. One was a fertility specialist because the OBs were like, well, we have nothing else to tell you.
No.
So I went to a fertility specialist, like, well, you trying to get pregnant? And I'm like, well, no, but I was just told to come here. And they're like, well, like, come back when you're trying to get pregnant. And I'm like, okay.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
Do you go to endocrinologist at all?
No.
At any point? Okay.
No.
Dietitian
was the one who told me that I just need to start eating more and exercising less. Which I kind of always knew. But I just wanted somebody to tell me, so that way I believed it.
There you go.
I gained like 10 pounds and things are better.
It's almost like you needed permission, right?
Literally, exactly.
Yeah, to let go of that.
All the doctors were like, no, keep exercise. Stay lean. It's important. Continue to exercise as much as you are. It's good. I'm like, okay. Back in my mind, I like knew, but I obviously like enjoyed the physique that I was carrying. So I was like, okay, like 3 doctors told me to just keep doing what I'm doing. But I knew I had to. But I needed somebody to be like, this is what you need to do, and it will work.
Well, it's because the doctors they'd be like, then you could come back to me, and I could charge you and make more money. That's all it is.
Trying to get pregnant, you can hand me tens of thousands of dollars for me to do it, which is nothing wrong. I mean, IVF is great for people who like, truly need it. But
you didn't truly need it, and you're not trying to get pregnant.
I'm not pregnant. Now I'm realizing I probably can get pregnant on my own, but I just had to like not be so lean.
Well, there you go. I mean, I think that's, again, we realize, not that we're completely against Western medicine, but...
No, not against it.
No, not at all.
In a place, I just think that we need to start getting the root of issues, and also, again...
I think people need to stop relying on this stuff. I'm just dude, do your own research too. Think about genetics and think about culture and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, they did research and they said, what's the U.S.? Like 1/10 of the world's population? Something like that? Not even, because there's 7 billion people in the world, and there's 300 million in the U.S., so that's like a very small percentage. We take 65% of the world's drugs. The U.S. consumes 65% of the world's total drugs.
Where do they normally come from? Colombia.
No. I mean like pharmaceuticals, John.
You said the word drugs. So my bad.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Yeah. John went back to his. You got anything? Sorry, I'm itchy.
I'm from Spring Valley.
But yeah, 65% of the world's pharmaceuticals are consumed in the U.S.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
also our food standards are like the worst in the world.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I think there's like 3 ingredients we ban here in the U.S. That's it. And it's like every other. You go to
formaldehyde. You can't have like actual iron filings in your food.
What's the percentage where it's considered all natural?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's like 10% of it has to be, so then you could actually label it all natural.
Even organic is
organic. That's what it is.
Like, even if it's organic, it's not necessary.
It's like, the farm
use pesticides. They could still. It's just like the amount or like the kind.
Right.
They could use.
The farmer doesn't wear gloves when he harvests.
Yeah.
What is it?
You can only use organic pesticides.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the apple cider vinegar.
Which was I always tell people it's funny is because the organic pesticides are more toxic at lower levels than the man-made stuff. It's more dangerous to us at lower levels than the man-made. When you're,
But yeah, because it's an actual toxin by nature. It's meant to kill shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like man-made pesticides, scientists can change the distance and size of the bonds, so that changes the toxicity level.
Oh, so we should use the man-made stuff.
It's
that's what he just said.
John's like, someone help me.
Yeah, I'm just like, wait. I for what I
if you were to take an organic pesticide and a man-made pesticide, say 5 milligrams of each.
No, I understand what you're saying. I get that ratio. I'm just saying, and general population is listening to you. I'm like, wait, so you're saying that the man-made stuff is better for me?
Essentially.
Okay, guys, here's the point. There's no pesticides in ice cream.
Sure?
Yes, 100%. Unless you're eating like
eat ice cream,
peach ice cream or some shit like that. Yeah, thank you. I like you so much.
That's a racist thing to say right now.
How is that racist?
Somehow we'll make it racist.
Just eat more ice cream.
Yeah. Long story short.
Ice cream.
Long story short, ice cream is king.
There you go.
Just go with Halo.
No, that's not.
That's that man-made shit again.
Yeah, that's
okay. Someone unplug his microphone.
Probably.
That's frozen water that tastes like sadness.
It's frozen skim milk.
It's not basically all soluble fiber. I think, right? It's like
Oh, yeah.
clump of soluble fiber.
And some sugar alcohols for flavoring.
Yeah, and some like erythritol or whatever.
Yeah, it's like punching your colon in the face. It's just not good.
Have you ever eaten it? Like, you literally feel horrible. Like, I'd rather...
Yeah.
I've eaten it, it's fine, but if I'm going to eat it, I'd rather at this
Eat
point...
the rice.
Yeah,
ice cream.
I mean, now at this point, I've probably had ice cream every day.
Good for you.
2 or 3 months.
Hell yeah.
See, she gets it, and her hormones are great.
Right.
I'm healthier now.
Look at that.
I really am.
Makes sense to me. Eat more, just move more.
Yeah.
That's the problem. People just don't move.
Right. Exactly.
People don't move. Well, no, yeah, movement is important. Eating good is important. But eating is also important.
Right.
Like, you know,
100%.
like, people are afraid.
Be happy.
Yeah, be happy.
Some
Enjoy
things will be happy.
foods. Like, you know, eat good stuff. But definitely, you gotta move, though. That's what's important.
Totally agree with that. That's cool.
I tell people, too, when they're eating, it's like, think about, if you're by yourself, you're by yourself. But if you're with other people, think about the company you're in. Slow your food down. Slow your eating down. Think about the moment. I meant to say this earlier, like, Allie talking about not having a very long, drawn-out goal, but kind of her goal right now is, like, being present in the moment, being aware of what's currently happening.
Yeah.
You know, whatever she's doing with her clients, the relationships you're cultivating, the ideas for where you want to bring your business, whatever that is. It's like that's all happening at the moment, being present. And for people who struggle with eating disorders or whatever, it's like, think about who you're with. The experience is part of like the nutritional aspect too, not just what you're eating.
Right.
Like if we all went out to dinner after this, I would care much less about where we go, what we're eating, more the fact that like I'm hanging out with all you guys.
Right.
It's true.
You know?
I get it. Cool beans.
But I think people lose sight of that and they just focus on
Those guys that bring their protein shakes to the places. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was one of those people that like I would get afraid. Like if friends were like, "Oh, we're all going to like get pizza on Friday," I'm like, "Oh my god,
What am I going to do?
I can't eat pizza on Friday because then like I like had this yesterday and like I can't like you know and like you're just told that that's bad rather than just going out and enjoying pizza with friends." People freak out over it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with living your life.
I think she's asking us if we want to go to Kinchleys after this. That's what she's trying to say.
Kinchleys!
That would be
Oh, wow. I'm down.
That's good pizza.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
good pizza.
Beer
Kinchleys
battered
is
pizza.
What?
Beer battered pizza.
What is that?
is
I've
that?
never
The
had that
dough
from
is made
there.
with beer.
All of it?
No, the certain pizzas
At
from
Kinchleys?
Kinchleys. Yeah.
I've never had that.
like
Oh
all
my
of
gosh.
their pizza.
No,
or
not
there's
all
a
of them.
specific pie. Oh.
Their specific pie that's Kinchleys known for is made with beer. Oh, you didn't know that? Oh,
No.
yeah. I used to train the chef for Kinchleys when this was New York Sports. He was my client, and I was like, "What's the secret?" He's just,
Yeah.
people don't know. We put beer in our
Interesting.
yeah, specifically on their thin crust. It's like a
So
beer.
now you're just putting his secret out to the
It's
world.
not a
I'm just
secret,
kidding.
man. He's like, it's not a secret. I mean,
Well, we don't know what beer.
How come no one
It's
doesn't know
true.
this
Yeah.
part? Then I just like the chicken parm anyways. So.
Well, that's the good thing about Kinchleys. The pizza's so thin, you got to get a bunch of them anyway.
Yeah,
So
that's
You eat
the
a
whole
whole
thing.
pie, it's like one slice.
Right.
When I would do like
it's like cracker pizza.
when I did my
It really is like
when I would do refeeds, I remember I would go to Kinchleys to get 2 pepperoni pies. And I would eat a whole pie by the time I got from Kinchleys to home in my
I believe it.
I would crush
It's
it.
not so hard.
That is so doable.
It is.
So too.
So
just
doable.
fold it up once and then you're good.
Like I said, one pie is one slicing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, just have them cut one in half, and that's it.
Yes.
It's easy. But
it.
that's an iconic horse, though, on top of that.
What horse?
That horse.
That's the shirt they sell.
Is it?
They have a shirt that says "What horse?" You didn't know that?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, you knew that.
I used to live right there.
Like in Kinchleys?
Pretty much, yeah. You know that little crawl space behind the bar? Believe it or not, this ass fit in there.
Did you live in Mawa?
I used to, yeah.
Oh, I grew up in Ramsey.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
You're one of those people.
I am.
Sorry.
What does that mean?
I had kinship
What?
in my town. So.
Yeah. Wasn't that bad?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Because when you told Raphael you were from Spring Valley,
I'm just
No, but that is like a thing. It's like, I mean, Ramsey people are great, but.
Well,
Where are we going with this one?
Oh, nothing.
How many
So
times
back
you
to the
been
ice
to
cream. Ben and Jerry's
Good, yeah.
and Kinchleys.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to get some Kinchleys after this. That's cool.
Solid.
Down with it. Well, I'm
out of questions?
out of questions.
No, this was good.
This was
is
a
amazing.
really good one.
This was
a good
awesome.
rant. I liked it.
I liked it too.
Good job,
I'm happy
guys.
to be here.
I like that Mike has been so much more vocal in the last couple ones.
Huh?
Yeah.
But that's only because I sing your praises.
No, not at this one.
No, we battered him today.
Fine. Bring it, please, by all means.
That was great.
That was good.
She's the one who brought up the poop. I'm telling you, it's on video.
It's okay.
You're gonna hear it.
It's okay if she did. I'm fine.
I'm just saying.
I probably like her more.
when we bring it back up again next week.
Cliff will take that part out and we'll put.
But it's still on that one.
We'll put the clip. No. I don't mean he'll take it out, edit it. He'll make the clip for Instagram.
The Cliff clip?
Yep. Yep.
The Cliff clip will be the poop one?
Yep.
That's
That's
phenomenal.
what you should do, and I'll post it up.
You should cut that part out. Find it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll use the shit emojis and everything. It'd be great.
All right. Watch how many more views we get.
Views, doesn't matter how they happen. Just feed the algorithm.
Yeah, that's all that matters. All right. Well, with that being said, we thank you.
Thank you.
This is a really good one.
This was awesome. Thank you so much.
We'd love to. Again, honestly, if we could bring her and Lauren back on together, I think this would be actually really good.
She's
Me and Lauren are a powerful
she's
force.
dying to do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Yeah.
And when I said that Allie was coming on today, she's like, okay, maybe that's better. Like, you can set up what we've been doing. Like, it was a whole thing. I'll have to read the text.
So they got to know her, they got to know me, and then we
essentially
could be together and we could talk about all of our plans to take over the
world domination.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Pinky in the Brain.
Well, who do we... Next week is nobody. We don't have a guest for next week, right?
You're looking at me like I know. I'm the one who's always asking.
Yeah. No, we don't have anyone next week. Dad, actually, I wanted next week to just be a random rant.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Yeah,
I'm down with that.
July 2nd's Pam.
Pam.
Who you would love.
No, July 2nd is Alan.
What?
Yeah.
John.
Where did we say that? Okay, we'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to be done for the day. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.